Welcome back to Global Business Europe. NASA has launched the most powerful space rocket in history from Florida. Artemis 1 blasted off from Cape Canaveral early on Wednesday.
Launch is NASA's first crucial step of returning astronauts to the moon 50 years after the final Apollo moon mission. No astronauts were on board this test flight, but it's hoped the crew will be on board for future missions.
Well, let's talk to Dr. Jennifer Millard, who's from the School of Physics and Astronomy at Cardiff University. Good to talk to you. So it's taken a while to get off the ground, this mission, hasn't it? But it is finally underway. What can we expect from it?
Yeah, we have had a few teething problems, but of course that's to be expected with a brand new untested rocket. But those have all been ironed out, and we are heading back to the moon with a crew capsule. So we haven't done that in 50 years. So with Artemis 1, as you say, it's just a dry run, a test. So we're going to get to the moon and enter lunar orbit on around day 10. We're going to swing around the moon a couple of times. We'll have some fantastic footage sent back from that because there are lots of cameras on board. And then around day 16, we'll leave lunar orbit and then head back to Earth. And that's when we're going to test that heat shield on the capsule. That's really, really key. And we'll splash down in the Pacific Ocean.
So what's the wider goal here? What's it eventually hoping to achieve or pave the way for?
So Artemis is all about going back to the moon, but staying there as well. So we're going to be exploring the moon with 50 years of scientific advancement, and that's 50 years of skill development, knowledge development, but also technology. And then while we're there, we want to be practicing for our next leap into the solar system, and that is, of course, Mars. Because we don't have the technology or the skills to send people to Mars today. That's what the Artemis program is going to prepare us for.
So some people might say that the money spent on this, which is adding up to billions of dollars, could be better spent on Earth. But how valuable do you think space exploration is?
It's an absolutely great question because, yeah, over approximately 15 years, the current estimate for the first 3 Artemis missions is about $93 billion. And that sounds like a huge amount of money. But if we just compare that to what the US spent on defense last year alone, that was $800 billion in 1 year. So $93 billion over 15 years is not so bad. And space exploration is so much more than just the big missions like Artemis and the James Webb Space Telescope. 90 to 95% of space exploration is space-to-Earth transfers, so that can be knowledge or technology. And that's all to do with, for example, GPS satellites, communication satellites, Wi-Fi, even climate modelling satellites. Most of our climate data comes from space satellites. So it is incredibly important. And of course, that goes without saying all of the spin-off technologies that we get from the big projects like Apollo, the International Space Station, and what we will get from Artemis.
Dr. Jennifer Millard, really good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. That's Dr. Jennifer Millard from the School of Physics and Astronomy at Cardiff University.